Yo, what is up guys, and welcome to another Wild Rift guide. And in today's video I'm going to be giving you guys the ultimate beginner's guide to the champion Zyra. I want to say you need to watch a guide before getting into this champion. She's quite complicated. She has a lot of hidden little details that of course I figured out already for you guys that are really going to change your game, especially with the ultimate. We'll get to that. There's timestamps in the description. I'm going to explain to you guys how the abilities work, how to combo her abilities, how to play this champion, how to build this champion, and everything. So first of all, how do you upgrade the abilities? Before we start upgrading or explaining the abilities, I'm going to tell you how to upgrade the abilities. I feel like I missed that a lot during my guides. Level 1, you either want to put a point on your first ability or your third ability. If you want to catch an enemy, you want to take your third ability. If you just start the game, take your first ability. You want to max your first ability first. So the first ability you're going to max is always going to be your first ability. And then the next ability you're going to be maxing is going to be your second ability. And lastly, it's going to be your third ability. And of course, always put a point in your ultimate. So that's how you upgrade the abilities. Now let's talk about this champion. A lot of text, but let me make it simple. It already starts with an additional Thorn Spitter. First of all, Thorn Spitter. What is a Thorn Spitter? Let's just use an ability. Just this one. You see that thing over there? This is a Thorn Spitter. This is a Thorn Spitter, okay? What does a Thorn Spitter do? Let's put it next to champions, just so we can kind of understand how this works. Boom, boom, boom. If I attack a different champion, the Thorn Spitter will help me, as you can see, okay? That's just to show you what the Thorn Spitter is. So an additional Thorn Spitter sprouts with every enemy champion, large monster, or epic monster, Deadly Spines hits. Deadly Spines is your first ability. Let's just get into the first ability because the passive is already talking about it. Vines spread and burst into spines, dealing magic damage and sprouting one Thorn Spitter. The first ability is this. You can see this little area. Boom. And at the end of the cast, it will spawn a Thorn Spitter. Now, if you land it on an enemy champion, it's still gonna spawn one Thorn Spitter. But you may be thinking, wait, what? It sprouts, doesn't it say an additional Thorn Spitter sprouts with every champion hit? Correct. But it only starts counting at 2. So take a look. If I hit 2 champions, so look, boom. Now we have 2. You see 2? 1, 2. We have 2 Thorn Spitters. If I hit 3, let's try to line this up perfectly. Now it spawned 3 of them. You see? And yes, this works on epic or large monsters too. So like as you can see, I'll try to hit the blue buff and the dummy. Boom! 2 Thorn Spitters. I can attack the enemy champion with 2 Thorn Spitters. Now this opens up possibilities for Jungle Zyra, right? Like Jungle Zyra, you can invade the enemy, and if you can land this ability by hitting it on the buff, whether it's the red buff or the blue buff or any jungle camp, and the enemy champion just like this, you are gonna win every 1v1. You are gonna do so much damage at level 1, no one is gonna beat you. No one. Literally no one. So that's just a quick explanation on the first ability. It doesn't slow, it just does damage, and it spawns Thorn Spitters for each additional enemy, and 1 enemy doesn't count. So 2 enemies is gonna spawn 2 Thorn Spitters, 3 enemies is gonna spawn 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6. If you hit the dragon with it as well. Yes, it works. So same story with the Scuttle Crab, for example, right? Like you can hit it with the Scuttle Crab. I missed it here, but you get my point. If you hit it with the Scuttle Crab, it's gonna spawn a whole lot of Thorn Spitters. So let's continue reading the passive right now, right? A Thorn Spitter sprouts when Grasping Roots first hits an enemy champion. That is this ability, the third ability. So it also says a Thorn Spitter will sprout when Grasping Root first hits an enemy champion. But if no champion is hit, a Thorn Spitter will sprout when the ability ends. So take a look. This, we're talking about this ability. When it ends, it spawns a Thorn Spitter, or right when you hit an enemy champion. Now what this ability does, let's now take a look at the third ability. Zyra sends Binding Vines forward, rooting enemies for 2 seconds. This is a flat 2-second root. On level 1, max level, doesn't matter. And it does magic. And then a Thorn Spitter spawns when the ability first hits an enemy champion or when this ability ends. And then again, large and epic monsters are also considered champions. So when we look at this one, this is considered a champion, as you can see. A Thorn Spitter gets spawned right there. So you have to be a bit careful when you do it like this, you know what I mean? Because then you're going to hit the Scuttle Crab and your Thorn Spitter is going to be just a tad bit too far away to be able to assist you in a fight. Hey, the Herald is attacking my Thorn Spitter. I don't want that. So yes, this is a bit awkward. The Herald is joining the fight. So I'm just going to remove the dummies just to get that herald away. So the third ability is going to be important to have CC for you, right? Like you can use it to stun enemies. I'm just going to put dummies back here. And dummy. So this can be a very important ability. I'll give you tips and tricks on the abilities, by the way, later on. I'm just showing you how they work. Now, it goes through everyone, as you can see. It roots everyone. It's a very, very good ability. 2-second root. When you're in a bush, they cannot see you, and then it's always going to be too late for them to react to it. So let's continue the passive, right? A Thorn Spitter will sprout when Grasping Roots ends. Yeah, we read that already when the third ability ends. While active, Thorn Spitters automatically attack targets. Okay, so, as you can see, he will automatically attack targets. Or she. We cannot look under the flowers, but we're gonna call it a he for the sake of making it easy. But it has a range, so like it's attacking this target, it attacks the closest one, but if I start attacking another one, it will follow my attacks. But if I attack someone that's outside of the range, it will continue attacking something that's within its range, okay? So it will help you, like it doesn't matter how many you've spawned. If you attack one target, all of them will focus that target. If you change target, all of them within range will focus that target. Now you may be wondering, why is one of them doing 75 damage and the other one 38 damage? Well, the thing is, the first one does more damage than the additional ones. I don't know where it says that, but it is obvious that the first one does more damage. I mean, if I show you guys again, take a look. One does 75 damage and the other one's 38. Nowhere in her abilities does it say that it does less damage, like the additional ones, but just so you know, in case you're wondering, it is gonna do less damage when you have more, but obviously it's still gonna do a lot more damage, even though it's less for each subsequent Thorn Spitter. So now we get to pretty much the most integral ability of Zyra. This is the most important ability to properly understand, the simplest ability, but yet the most important. This one, Rampant Growth, plants a seed that lasts 6 seconds on an enemy champion. Bear in mind, the cooldown of this ability is 5.9 seconds. In the early game, it's still kinda low. It's not obviously not gonna be 6 seconds in the early game, but it's still gonna be pretty low. But this puts a seed. So take a look. Boom. You see the seed? You can see the seed, right? Like right here. You see that seed. So what does this do? It plants a seed that lasts for 6 seconds. It does a certain amount of magic damage every 0.5 seconds. And I want to say this will count up to a lot. 38 magic damage, I'm full build of course, but 38 every 0.5 seconds, that's 76 damage per second times 6. You know what I mean? That's like around 450 damage, 456. It's a lot of damage that this will do over time. In addition to that, it slows enemies by 15 to 30%, depending on your level, as you can see. Level 1's 15, max level 30. That's why you're maxing this one second. And then Thorn Spitters will also do bonus damage to targets that carry seeds. Now you can start to understand the point of all of this, right? Like we have all of these abilities to spawn Thorn Spitters. They're doing 38 and 75 damage to him right now. But let's actually see how much damage they do when I use my second ability as well. Let's take a look. Now it's suddenly a whole lot more. Look at that. We're seeing 149s, and it's because like some of them are hitting on top of each other. But you can clearly see when I use my second ability, they do significantly more damage. So it's quite clear to me that Zyra is a type of champion you want to be playing. I mean, she has AoE abilities. Every ability is AoE, right? Like this is AoE, this is AoE, this is AoE. We'll talk about the ultimate later. But she's like on top of all of this crazy AoE damage, she also has very good single target focusing. You can use that second ability on an important target to do more damage to them and focus on them, right? You'll also slow them for 3 seconds, which is huge. Third ability we already talked about. Now let's talk about the all-important ultimate. So, few things to notice with this ultimate. Zyra summons the Fury of Nature, growing a twisted thicket that does a certain amount of magic damage to enemies after 2 seconds, the vines snap upwards. They knock up the enemies for 1 second. It does the damage in the beginning, as you can see, boom, and then boom. The second boom is not going to do damage. The only reason you're seeing 45 true damage is because I have the cheap shot rune, but it only does the damage in the beginning, and then boom. Secondly, it just knocks them up, but it doesn't do damage. More things to notice about this one. So, let's see. The Thorn Spit. Okay, this part is extremely important, and I want you guys to pay attention right now. The Thorn Spitters within the thicket become enraged, resetting their duration and gaining 50% bonus health and 50% bonus attack speed. Let's take a look. Let's put down like 2 thorn spitters right here. Okay, you see them? You see the duration? You see that yellow bar? That shows the duration. Boom. When I ult on top of them, it doesn't work a second time, by the way, in case you're wondering. I mean, it doesn't even matter because you're never gonna have 2 ultimates, but just for the sake of testing. So what it does, it literally resets their duration and it boosts their health. It also boosts their attack speed, so they're gonna be doing more damage for you. So something to notice as well, let's see. They don't do more damage, they don't do more damage per hit. They only their attack speed gets buffed. So they are gonna do more damage over time, but they're not gonna do more damage per shot. But it's gonna be a lot more damage. You can imagine if you have like 5 thorn spitters and use your ultimate like that, it's gonna do a lot. But now let's talk about how it actually works. You know, you may be wondering, like, let's say I put a lot of these things on them, boom, 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 and then, you know, I use this, it buffs them, right? But what if you use your ultimate and then right after your ultimate, you spawn a thorn spitter? Let me show you what I mean. They still get buffed. If you use your ultimate and you're kind of quick with your combo, there, like during the ultimate, you have like 2 seconds. Take a look. It's still gonna grow. They're still gonna grow. Like you have a bit of time. You have to use it. You have to use it before the knockup. Like as long as you spawn a thorn spitter before the knockup, like that, it is gonna get the bonus HP and the bonus attack speed. So basically, look at it like this, right? Like you enter a fight. This is not a combo, but I'm just explaining to you guys how it works. I'll get to the combos later. You're entering a fight, use a couple of abilities, boom, 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 whatever, whatever. You know, these are getting to low timers. You can then use your ultimate, use more abilities. You're gonna have like 6, 7. Look at how many of these I have spawned. All of them are buffed. So I just really want to put this in your heads, just so you guys don't get confused and, you know, think like, okay, I need to use everything before and then I need to ult. Sure, you know, that is good, but you can also do it after. Now let's talk about the combos and talk about when you want to do it before and when you want to do it after. So let's put the dummies a little bit closer to each other to actually be able to properly show you the combos. So first things first, you play the Electrocute rune when you play Zyra, and an easy way to proc the Electrocute rune, you know, when you're level 2, you're playing in your lane, like let's say I'm playing as this Garen, right? Like an easy way to proc it, first ability, second ability, basic attack, just like that, you see? First ability, second ability, basic attack. You're gonna do a lot of damage in lane, you're gonna proc your Electrocute, you're gonna be able to outtrade a lot of enemies at level 2 already. So let me show you how it works. The first ability has a big range, second ability a little bit lower, but you just have to get a little close. First ability, second ability, basic attack. You wanna do this very quickly. Like that, you see? First ability, second ability, basic attack. Boom, 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 boom. You can do it super fast. Like, you can even auto-aim it if they're within your range. Boom. Oftentimes you're gonna hit this because the range is just very big. It's generally gonna be better than you trying to, you know, like kind of do it like this. When you're in lane, you can just kind of first ability, second ability, basic attack. Super fast, quick little combo. Now let's talk about a different combo. Let's say you're waiting in this bush right here, right? And this scuttle crab is an enemy. You can use your third ability on that enemy, first ability, and second ability. Works really, really well. To do maximum damage, actually, the way you want to do it is if you're in this bush, you want to use your third ability, second ability, first ability. This is to guarantee your thorn spitters doing maximum damage. So third ability, second ability, first ability, and then you're gonna basic attack this enemy, and your thorn spitters will do the bonus damage because of your second ability. Okay, and same if you want to truly follow up after your pocket combo, which is first ability, second ability, basic attack. If the enemy actually engages on you, which is unlikely going to happen, that's when you're going to use third ability and kind of kite around like that. Okay, now we're still talking about everything without the ultimate, because this is all like, you know, like you have like a nice little all-in you can do on an enemy without your ultimate, which is, as I said, third ability, second ability, first ability, basic attack. This is like the all-in if you don't want to use your ultimate, or if you don't have your ultimate yet. It's going to do a lot of damage, very, very big. Now let's talk about the ultimate. Okay, so the ultimate, you're kind of just going to add your ultimate to the combo, or you're going to add it before the combo. So in a normal situation, a normal team fight, you know, in a normal place that's not like cramped, like Baron, for example, we'll get to that. Let's say we're fighting here. I want to engage on a fight. I can start with my third ability. If I'm in a bush, I start with my third ability. If I'm not, I can start with my first ability. Because like it can be a little bit hard to hit your third ability, because you can see it takes quite some time to get to the enemy. And this is a very important ability with quite a decent amount of cooldown. Of course, I'm very late in the game, so it doesn't have a long cooldown. But your first ability, as you can see, the cooldown is significantly lower. That is why, generally in a team fight, you know, as I said, the combo first ability, second ability, basic attack, even in a team fight is very good. And then when an enemy is chasing you, you're going to throw that third ability onto them and go for it. Let's say one of your teammates goes in, boom, this works as well. You can combo your third ability with a flash like that, and then you have some crazy combos. You can third ability, flash, second ability, first ability, ultimate, and then another first ability. Let me show you. This, you can ult, and then third ability, or sorry, not for third ability, first ability again. This is like a big team fighting combo. So let me show you again. You can third ability, second ability, first ability, ultimate, and then use another first ability, and then just basic attack one enemy. You can see this dummy is having it. This dummy is really having it right now. Now let me tell you about a different kind of a combo. Let's say the enemies are doing Baron. Okay, they're doing Baron. And all 5 of them are doing Baron. Let's just put all of them here. Let's say they're all doing Baron. This is a very normal scenario, right? Like enemies are doing Baron. You're gonna have like 5 enemies over here. You are playing Zyra. Let me just turn on Fog of War. Let me actually also turn on cooldown, so it's like actually realistic. You put down a ward. You're like, oh my god, they're doing Baron. The way you want to approach this, you're gonna ult the whole Baron pit. Okay, you're not gonna use any abilities. Just ult, and then before the knock-up, make sure you use all of your other abilities. Your second ability is optional, but make sure you use first ability and third ability. So let me show you. You ult, first ability, third ability, and then you can just destroy them. You will do ridiculous damage. Like, look, I did 5,500 damage to this one dummy. This is the one dummy. You're gonna do a lot more to everyone. Like, when you use your ultimate, let's see how much damage it does to everyone. It does a lot. So, like, you can ult, third ability, first ability, second ability. You're doing crazy amounts of damage to everyone. Mind you, these dummies have a lot of magic resist. They're gonna half my damage. So this is like a big combo you can do to approach an objective like the Baron or like the Dragon. And let's see, I didn't forget any important combos. These are like kind of your basic combos that you want to be playing around. You can play Zyra in the support role. You can play her in the mid lane. You can probably even play her in the jungle. And then when you play her in the jungle, I'm going to assume when you clear the jungle, you can do it like this, where you kind of put them here and then just spawn 2 thorn spitters. You see, like that. And you can do it like fiddlesticks, you know. It's a little bit hard. And actually, interestingly, you can waste their times by having them attack the thorn spitters. Again, you're gonna have to figure this one out by yourself. There's, you know, as you can see, this guy's attacking the thorn spitter. You're gonna have to figure out how to do this, but I'm 100% sure you can have a pretty fast jungle clear with Zyra. She's gonna have very good invading power as well, and just an overall very good champion. So now let's talk about how to build Zyra, because this is gonna be quite integral to the kit as well. How do you build Zyra, right? There's gonna be multiple different ways you can build her. So if we can just get to the build part, I'll show you. So this is like the standard build I've constructed. Luden's Echo is pretty much always going to be your first item, and then you want to go for the Boots of Mana. After this, it becomes situational. Are you up against tanks? You're going to go for Leandries. This is so your ultimate, your third ability, and all of that is going to do so much damage, because everything is AoE of Zyra. So like, you can do a lot of AoE burning. You can even add slowing to this, but this is support stuff. If we want to carry, you don't want to go for the Leandries, you want to go for more of a build like this. You want to go for Luden's Echo, Crown the Shattered Queen, Rabadon's Deathcap, and then I'm going to assume a Cosmic Drive is going to be a very powerful item. Obviously the Green Book if you need anti-healing. Still Leandries if you need anti-tank. In the late game, you could even go for a Rift Maker to give you a lot of healing while you're doing a lot of damage to the enemies. But these are sort of your core items, these 3. And then a Cosmic Drive is what I think is going to be a very, very good item as well. You want to go for Stasis as well, because like you can use your ultimate and everything like that, use Stasis. Your Thorn Spitters are still going to attack the enemies while you're in Stasis, so Stasis is going to be extremely powerful on Zyra. For the runes, you want to go Electrocute. Now, First Strike is something you could go, just because it gives you so much gold. But Electrocute is just such a good rune on her. It's like playing Vex. Electrocute is just so good on Vex. You just want to go for Electrocute. And you want to go for the Domination runes. Scorch is an easy one. Cheap Shot as well. These are both poking runes. These are going to give you very big power when you play in the lane or in the support role. You can bully the enemies like crazy with the Electrocute and with the poking. First ability, second ability, basic attack, they're half-life already early on in the game. Right here, you go for Eyeball Collector or Zombie Ward, whichever one you prefer. And then lastly, we go for Transcendence for the later stages of the game to have extreme cooldown reduction and spam our abilities. And for the spells, you go for Ignite and Flash. I forgot to tell you guys I'm doing a skin giveaway. Just put down a comment. But yes, let me know what you guys think about Zyra. Make sure you give the video a like. Thank you all so much for watching. And I really hope you enjoyed the video. And I will see you all in the next HellsDevil video. Bye-bye.